Good morning, friends. I'm Rashmi Bharti, the co-founder of Avani, India. I live and work in the Indian Himalayas in the grace of the snow-capped mountains. I live in a small village in Uttarakhand, a hill state of India, experiencing nature and its rhythms while celebrating life in our everyday routine, learning from the local communities who are resilient, self-reliant and sustainable. Despite all their challenges, the poverty and the hardships, they radiate a happiness that comes from hard work and contentment. This is what we were unconsciously longing for when we decided to make the shift from Delhi to a small village in the mountains 24 years ago. The purity, beauty and simplicity of life in a village held some attraction for us. This brought us to this area where we set up Avani as an organization that allows our work and life to be one contiguous whole, while contributing to the area that we love at home in the Himalayas. I'll be sharing with you our work of the past 24 years, especially related to creating rural livelihoods. We work with many aspects of rural life, but for this presentation, I'll be focusing on our work with textiles and natural dyes. Hope you enjoy the presentation. Thank you. The economics of happiness, self-reliance and sustainability. Greetings to all of you from the Indian Himalayas, a majestic and magnificent region in North India. We are located in the northeastern corner of Uttarakhand state, touching a border with Nepal and Chinese-occupied Tibet. This area is fairly self-reliant, but in the past few years, due to outmigration, the self-reliant villages are becoming ghost villages due to lack of livelihoods. With increased migration, more land is converted to wastelands. However, with the reverse migration happening due to COVID-19, there is a great opportunity to make rural and local relevant again. The Himalayas are a place where the lifestyle of people is in congruence with nature. However, today, most villages are inhabited by old people, women and children. What is needed is a source of livelihood that provides dignity and stable incomes. It is in this context that Avani was established in 1999. Today, Avani works in 108 villages in 2 districts, reaching about 25,000 people. Our mission is to create stable livelihoods for local communities that allow them to live in their area with dignity while improving their quality of life. With this perspective, we initiated our work with renewable energy and revival of traditional skills of hand spinning and hand weaving 20 years ago. This is the main Avani center located at a small village called Tripura Devi in Pithoragarh district of Kumaon. This center demonstrates sustainable living practices around farming, water, energy and natural dyes. For this presentation, I will be talking about our textile and natural product enterprise. As we initiated our textile business with 20 families, over time this business grew and Avani facilitated the formation of the Kumaon Earthcraft self-reliant cooperative in 2005. This is a producer-owned collective. Earthcraft produces and markets high-quality, handmade natural textiles and lifestyle products under its brand Avani. Earthcraft has decided to focus on natural fibers and natural dyes only. We currently work with wool, silk and linen. Our effort has been to maintain the purity of the soil and water of this area through our sustainable practices. 6 of our products have received the UNESCO Seal of Excellence for their high quality, innovativeness, and beauty. In continuation to our work with sustainability, we conducted a lot of research on dye-yielding properties of locally available plants. Over time, we have created a palette of more than 30 colors with plant-based dyes. Today, we also conduct natural dye workshops to help other units to produce replicable colors in plant-based dyes. Over time, we also realized the potential of natural dyes as a business opportunity. We started working with farmers to cultivate and collect natural dyes about 14 years ago, and today we produce plant-based colorants as dye powders, extracts, and pigments. These colorants can be used in cosmetics, art supplies, wood stains, and many others as shown in the picture. This has led to reclamation of wastelands and regeneration of forests. In continuation of our work to provide livelihoods in rural areas, we have set up a spray dryer to make dye extracts in a remote village that produces amazing walnuts. This center now processes walnuts, pomegranate rind, marigold, myrobalan, and eupatorium to make extracts. Extracts are concentrated forms of dyes that can be used directly for textile dyeing or other applications. This entire initiative has provided a steady, reliable income to rural women and young girls. It has also conserved biodiversity while creating a green, sustainable fashion product line for the past 20 years. What we have seen is socially disadvantaged women became self-reliant and have looked after their lives for more than 18 years. School dropout young girls became financially independent. As a result, their age of marriage was increased by 6 to 8 years than normal. Earthcraft provides livelihoods with dignity. These centers have been established in very remote areas where women would not have had the opportunity to learn these new skills. Earthcraft now trains school dropout girls as weavers, spinners, and dyers to enable them to earn stable livelihoods. Our entire team is from villages where we work. We have empowered rural youth to become managers at all levels. They look after quality control, financial management, human resource, community mobilization, and so on. The enterprise uses local skills, local people, and local resources to establish a solid foundation for a rural business. Earthcraft's activities have had a powerful impact on the women's lives. Through the earning the women have from weaving, spinning, and dye production, they have paid for their children's education, paid for their own weddings, made home improvements, and installed solar lights in their homes. This enterprise has 2,200 direct beneficiaries, 78% of whom are women, and over $61,000 has been earned by the community as cash income in the past 10 years. Our work addresses the entire supply chain, from hand spinning, hand weaving, to natural dyeing and the growing of dye plants as well. The woven fabrics are converted to finished products, thereby creating the entire supply chain in the villages of Kumaon. Our process of production is very people-centric. We have ensured that the work reaches the artisans in remote villages. To this intent, Infrastructure has been created as community centers in remote areas that allow the artisans to work in their beautiful surroundings. The other important intervention is our solution around water and energy. Every craft has an ecosystem around it. The Avani Center supports the living of about 40 people for their water, electricity, and organic vegetable needs. All our textile production systems use clean energy like solar energy or electricity from the pine needle gasification system. We harvest rainwater for all our textile processing activities and recycle 100% of the wastewater to grow vegetables. It is a closed loop with a very low carbon footprint and a model for replication. Our research on the use of plant-based dyes for the past 21 years has become a mainstay of our program. The ecosystem around craft includes the use of dyes. Plant-based dyes do not cause pollution of the soil or water where they are used. Their production leads to income generation as well as regeneration of biodiversity of ecosystems. Our research with local plants allows us to identify the locally growing species that can be used for natural dye. As you can see, these are all locally available plants used for plant-based dyeing. Myrobalan, turmeric, pomegranate rind, marigold, indigo, madder, the list goes on. One of the species we work with for its dye-yielding properties is Eupatorium or Ageratina adenophora. This plant is the number 3 invasive species in Asia, and our work with Eupatorium is well documented, and we have been using it for the last 20 years for textile dyeing. We are now producing extracts and pigments from it as well. Our work on this plant was published by the China Silk Museum in Hangzhou during the International Shibori Symposium in 2014. So far, we have removed more than 40,000 kg of Eupatorium from the forest floor, which leads to the regeneration of native species of plants and trees. At Avani, we invoked the Indigo goddess to rewrite the story of the color blue as a story of regeneration, beauty, and grace. Indigo cultivation usually has a very dark history of oppression, exploitation. We wanted to change the perspective. About 8 years ago, we started experimenting with indigo cultivation in the Himalayas. This was the first ever experiment in our part of the world. Today, we grow 3 varieties of indigo that are altitude specific, and about 250 farmers are involved in its cultivation. We have developed a model of decentralized harvesting and processing of the indigo pigment, where the local community is very involved. This is our first production of the indigo pigment from Indigofera tinctoria and Strobilanthes cusia. These 2 plants have given us amazing results. What you see here is the printed and woven fabric in linen dyed with Avani Himalayan blue. The impact of our indigo cultivation is multifarious actually. It has created a benefit for the farmers, and the total income of farmers just with indigo cultivation is more than $13,000 in 3 years for 10 to 12 days of work per season. It revives the soil, increases yield when used in crop rotation, and can be used as a green manure to recover wastelands. What we've understood is, through plant-based dyeing, we are converting waste to wealth. By monetizing a natural resource, it encourages the community to protect it. The concept of regeneration by using waste materials productively has given us amazing results. If we use waste materials as plant-based dyes, it gives the farmer a dual income. For example, the farmer can sell walnut hulls as colorant and walnut as a dry fruit. This gives motivation to the farmer to plant more trees, and the cycle then continues. Our work has led to the regeneration of forest and reclamation of wastelands. In this context, we have received many awards and recognitions, most notably 2 national awards, Janki Devi Bajaj Award, the T.N. Khushu Award, and the prestigious Nari Shakti Award. It's a presidential award. It was an honor and a privilege to receive this award from His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Honorable President of India, Mr. Ramnath Kovind. Dear friends, thank you for watching our presentation. Thank you, IFAM, for giving us this wonderful opportunity to share our work. To conclude, I would just like to say that sustainable production systems care for the maker and the earth. It also implies responsible consumption where the customer cares for what they buy, so it lasts a long time. This is how we can begin our journey of sustainability and self-reliance. Thank you. Now we'll share a short clip of our reality of a rainy day today, and you will meet some of the weavers as well. Namaste.
Udah kali ya, ha? Udah.